meeting. And Tom, I don't know whether you or Joanne want to introduce your crew today, but either one of you we're delighted to have the two of you back that we all know. So
we're delighted to be back. Most of you have met Claire Rhodes. Claire joined Stevens Insurance last year, and she will be helping out with the Mississippi County account. And so when Joanne's not available, Claire will be available to, any issues, questions on claims, billing, anything like that. Basically everything that Joanne does, Claire will be available to help us as well. And we also have Carrie Stout. Carrie is the owner of Consolidated Admin Services. We've been using Carrie's company for a long time. And before she started her own company, she worked at DataPath. And we're glad she left DataPath and started her own company because she does an outstanding job for our clients. So if you're familiar with flexible spending accounts or health reimbursement accounts, these are what we call value-based accounts that you can set up for the employees to pay for certain eligible expenses. And if you remember back in December, you asked, can people who are eligible for Medicare come off of the group health plan that could potentially save the county some money? And so this is why we're here today, to talk about how that might work, remembering that this is always optional to the employee. As long as they're full-time employed, they are eligible to stay on the group. However, with that said, we think some of those folks, if not all of them, may benefit by waiving the group coverage and getting on Medicare. And so what we're proposing is that the county establish health reimbursement accounts, and Carrie, correct me if I'm wrong, but that would allow the county to put money in the HRA, or the health reimbursement account, that the individual could then use to purchase a Medicare supplement. Okay, so I think we have a witness here that Medicare with a good supplement is very effective insurance.
Very effective.
And in many cases is better than what a lot of people have today with the higher deductibles. So, Carrie, do you want to talk and tell them how all that would work and what we'd need to do to get it set up?
Yeah, so with the ever-changing laws that are passed, they have came through. A new one was passed last year. It was called ICRA. And then there was another HRA that was passed. And what it allows companies to do, employers to do, is to have a class of employees and be able to say, okay, we're going to pay X amount of dollars for them to go out and purchase their own policy or get their own Medicare policy. And so the companies can basically allocate. So let's say you're paying $300 per employee right now for the health insurance. I don't know exactly what you're paying, but let's say single rate, the county is paying $839.55 per employee. So you can say, okay, we're going to take that allocation or less allocation and reimburse the employees that want to break off the health plan and go on to this Medicare plan. Okay? And so you only have to reimburse up to the amount of the policy. So let's say based on this cost scenario, you're looking at what, 270, 80, 90, about 95, almost $300.
Almost $300.
So then you're allocating $300 for those employees to purchase that policy versus being on your group policy. And it's all funded through the health reimbursement account. So basically right now you're sending that portion, that big portion, to QualChoice to pay for their health insurance. So then you're just allocating those funds, sitting it in this health reimbursement account. The employees would then send a allocation showing that they did purchase Medicare, and then that would be a reimbursement to the employees each month as those premiums become due. And so the county is covering their cost of coverage just like they're covering their cost of coverage right now. They're just being able to give them the option to purchase Medicare.
Is the reimbursement made in a lump sum annually, or can it be made monthly?
It's monthly. Yeah, you can't do it lump sum. It's an allocation amount. So it's a monthly, so it's the annual amount divided by 12, and it would be reimbursed the first of every month as those premiums become due. The thing with Medicare, what's so good about these plans and Medicare is that Medicare, once you enroll in it, you're in it until the next open enrollment for Medicare. So we put that on an annual assessment in our system, so it just does an automatic reimbursement to those individuals. And they can set up direct deposit so it can go directly into their checking account the same time the Social Security is being pulled out.
Okay, you just said once you're in it, you're in it. So before anybody can make a change to this new plan, it'll be next year or this year, December.
No, since you're offering this plan to them, since you're offering this reimbursement option, they are now eligible. That opens up an open enrollment for them to be able to enroll into Medicare at this point, not even off of y'all's plan insurance enrollment.
Till when?
We can do it March 1st.
March 1st.
Because that gives us time to enroll them in any supplement that they want to enroll in and get their information in the system and be ready to go for March 1st.
And then in December or November of next year is when Medicare open enrollment comes into place. And that's when they would make, if they didn't exactly like the plan that they're in right now, or if they want a different Medicare Part D plan, it gives the individual the ability to be able to pick and choose the plan that best fits their needs. Now, y'all's health plan may best fit their needs, or the Medicare may best fit their needs. And so they have to have that choice to be able to choose which plan does.
What happens with employee who is over 65, qualifies for this, but he has his spouse on here and even his family? Tell us about
Sure.
that.
So the employee, if they choose to, they could go on this plan. However, they would lose the coverage for their spouses if they're not over 65. So they would want to stay on the group health plan until they're both able to get on Medicare.
Or if the spouse is
Covered.
eligible for coverage in another.
Yeah, spouse.
Capacity,
I mean,
yeah.
if they work somewhere and have coverage somewhere else, or, they have that option as well.
If employee A opts to go with the Medicare plan, and then you're saying that that employee would be reimbursed the cost of that, does that reimbursement, direct deposit, or however it's set up, does that come from the county, or does that come from you guys?
So we are the administrator of that, and so everything would go through us. And then the county is just allocating those funds, and then we notify how much is being dispersed amongst all the employees. So it's part of our administrative services.
So that either come as a direct deposit from you guys, or a check from you guys on a monthly
That's
basis?
right, yes, sir.
Okay.
And they charge, on the second page, you can see what the cost to the county would be to establish these accounts. And it's probably going to be the minimum monthly, I would expect.
Yeah, probably based on.
So it's going to be $100 a month to the county, or $350 per participant, or a minimum of $100 per month that the county would pay to hire Carrie's company to administer
Per
this.
employee.
No, not the
No.
100. Mm-mm. The 350
The
is
$350
per employee on it,
per
but our
month.
minimum for these plans are $100 a month.
Okay, so that would cover everybody.
Yes, sir. Anybody that's on the
Yeah,
plan.
so if we only have 10 people sign up, that would only be $35 a month, right? 10 times 350, so that wouldn't satisfy the minimum that she needs to.
It'll probably be the minimum, because I think y'all said we only had 27.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it'll be the minimum. So it's $100 to the county to establish this, but you can see the potential savings per participant is significant to the
Yeah.
county.
Each
yeah.
month.
And I mean, of course, one reason we're really looking at doing this is for this to help our premiums. Well, this won't help our premiums this year because we've already done our deal.
No,
so-
it would start March 1st.
Oh, really?
Those people who choose to do this would come off the county's health plan, and we would do this deal for them.
Right, I understand it would help as far as what we're paying, but as far as like
Our
our
claims?
our cost, it's basically set on last year's claims, and it's not gonna help that.
It's not gonna help
It's
that.
next year, it could possibly help us, with,
Correct.
Especially if one of the people who opts to come off of the county plan and get on this plan had
one of our higher cost people.
one of our higher costs. Plus, it'll also potentially change the demographic mix, that we'll have a younger average age within the county, that potentially could help as well.
I noticed on your graph, Plan F is highlighted.
Yes.
That's one you're recommending?
Well, Plan F is no longer offered unless, and I've got the little asterisk down there, if an employee is already enrolled in parts A and B, then they can elect part F. It's a little higher monthly premium of $208. Otherwise, it's gonna be the Plan G.
What is that?
It's just the one that's highlighted here.
It was 100%.
Yeah, it's 100% plan, you know, you pay the premiums and you don't have to worry about deductible or anything, it just covers everything.
I don't see mine listed, I'm a J.
Oh, it probably isn't being sold anymore.
No, it hasn't been sold in a while.
But you can keep it.
Yeah,
That's
but you
what's so
can keep
good.
it.
That's what's so good about it.
Yeah.
And each employee that's on these different plans, that basically the way you look at it is this is your budget, $839.55. No one's going to pay
But I
that for
don't have to
Medicare
convert over
premium.
to F.
No, you can keep what
You
you've
can
got.
keep what you have.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, so you're looking at about $300 a month. A few may cost a little bit more than
Yeah, a
that
couple may go
If they
qualify
are-
for the F.
if they're eligible for F versus $839 a month. So the potential savings to the county is $500+ per participant per month.
Who
So 10
is your
people get on
drug
that.
card through? I notice your Plan D medication, $25. Who do y'all use on?
Well,
that?
I mean, that's an average cost.
It depends on what I
It's gonna
already
depend
have
on
or
what
what someone
your
else has.
prescriptions are, and so the flyer that we sent out to the employees stated on there that, if you want specifics, please bring a list of the medications you're currently taking. And then, RD will be able to look up which, drug plan, Part D plan would
That's
work
good.
best.
One thing we do need, if we do this, we need to factor in, because there's been some pretty substantial changes on some of the lower priced drug cards, Silver Scripts and some of those, they've, rather than no deductible, they've gone to about a $400 deductible effective this year. So we would have to factor that in on what we're gonna reimburse the employee too, because on those drug plans, you're gonna have to pay about the first $400.
Yeah, they shortened the donut hole, but now some of those plans, because there's not that in the middle, they're putting it on the front end.
Putting it on the front.
Yeah, so, yeah, it is important, and like I said, the Medicare specialist can go in there and put every person, like if they're on 10 prescriptions, they can put those into this portal, and it will tell them what is the best Part D plan for them.
Yeah, it's individual specific, and it can change from year to year.
It can.
Because you come on some new drugs, come off some other drugs, and
You have to check it every
You
year.
check it
Yeah, and the
That's
formularies change anyway. I
Right.
mean, as we know, just on regular insurance, the
And
formularies
a lot of
change.
pharmacies now have a program where they can put your things in and run it, and they'll tell you which one is
And the pharmacies can do it too, yeah.
most beneficial.
But I think employers embracing this and helping seniors that are getting to that age. I mean, I'm sure you all have seen the propaganda that you get. Oh my gosh! I
Oh,
mean,
we-
hey, my poor mom. I mean, I was just like, she was just like, I don't know. She got so, and I said, Mama, throw it away. And she's like, but they're saying I have to. I said, Mama, throw it
Some
away.
of it is almost threatening.
I said, you don't have to do any of that. And so by doing this and having a specialist come in and help them explain it, it really is, you know, it makes a lot of sense and it's very helpful.
Mhm. And he's so patient and calm. He's so good.
So the Part G and the Part D, those are both averages of what Part G coverage costs and Part D because.
Well, in
other-
this county, that's the Part G premium is $130 a month.
Okay,
No
and
matter
that's
what.
with one specific company or, because I know used to there was Blue Cross Blue Shield. there was
Yeah, it's
15
gonna-
of them. I don't know how that
It's
works.
gonna depend on which one is the better one
The best
for that
fit.
person. But 130 is pretty much it. And your Part B is 144.
So,
Don't have a choice on that.
yeah, the Part B, that's set by the government pretty much. So then the Part D, they'll look at which ones will pay for the med. Will they also tell them what kind of co-pays they're gonna have up front? Because right
They'll
now
be
they
able
have
to
a co-pay
explain
with our insurance, so they'll still
Right.
be responsible for that copay, the county won't be reimbursing copays.
I wouldn't suggest it.
Why- No,
I-
no,
I
because you're
suggest only
already
premiums.
responsible for, on your own, you have to pay your own deductible, you have to pay your own out-of-pocket. So the county's not reimbursing for that.
It has like tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 usually, and then,
Just like ours does.
Just
Yeah.
like that.
And then a lot, a lot of the pharmacies have the $4 generics or the $3 generics or whatever.
Walmart.
Yeah.
But if they choose that, the A is the hospitalization, the B is the outpatient, and then the G wraps all that in and covers everything that Medicare doesn't pay except for the $183 deductible. So, right now, I don't know what y'all's plan is, but they may have a $3,000 deductible if they go in the hospital. Where,
$1,000.
yeah, $1,000.
$1,000.
But now, those Medicare would only have 183.
And that's a one-time yearly.
Yes,
Right.
deductible.
That's right. Mhm.
so
So-
G has a $183 deductible.
Correct. That's what, F doesn't.
J doesn't either.
Yeah, and that's why they're phasing some of those plans, those really, really rich plans out. So,
So anybody that is eligible and doesn't have a spouse under age 65, as Claire was talking about, will benefit by doing this. And then the county will clearly benefit as well. So it's a win-win.
And if they do have a spouse that is under 65 and they're still working, they still may want to analyze it to see if it's better. And this is considered, it's not an open enrollment, but it's because you're offering that benefit that employee spouse could go on their plan. Because it could be,
Qualifying event
it's
for
a
them.
qualifying event, so it may be more beneficial for the spouse or the employee to be on Medicare and they be on their employer plan.
I got a question. Justice White and myself have opposition. Let's just say unfortunately we don't make it. What happens to us if we choose this and come January, what do we do?
That's a good question. Then you still have your same plan for Medicare. You just don't get the county reimbursement any longer because you're no longer a county employee. But the same scenario would be if you were on the county's health insurance, you wouldn't get the county benefit anymore because you're not a county employee. You'd have to
At that point in time, could they keep the same benefit?
Absolutely,
They-
it's not
they-
tied to the county.
they
That's
could
what's
just-
so great about it.
They
is
could just
that-
pay the premium.
Yes,
We'll actually be paying the premium direct anyway, won't we?
you really will.
I mean,
We're just
we're
reimbursing
having
the
to write
county.
a check.
they're just getting reimbursed.
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're paying it. The county's just reimbursing you for your portion.
As long as you're a full-time employee.
We just don't get your deposit anymore.
That's right. That's right.
That's
It
exactly
just
right.
passes through you.
Yes.
Now, like in a case like mine where I'm not covered by the county, I'm on my own, I will be given an opportunity to enroll in this.
My understanding.
Yeah, as long as you're considered a county
Full-time
employee.
eligible
I'm
county-
eligible, I think.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I just chose not to because I was concerned about my supplement, not being able to get my supplement back if something happened.
Absolutely.
No,
And
you
were
can,
smart.
once you've got it, it's yours.
Yeah, we'll set up a HRA for you to reimburse you.
Yeah.
So this is really a good deal for you.
Well, that's not the reason I've been talking it up, but
Yeah. The plan has to be available to all full-time or benefit eligible employees of the county, so you can't pick and choose who gets it. And so that's one, benefit of it. So they don't have to be on the health plan now, but they do have to be Medicare eligible to be eligible for it.
Just, and this is probably a question you can't answer, but anyway, we say we got 25 employees that's eligible for this. Let's just say those 25 employees, all their spouses are 65. I mean, what percentage do you think y'all can get? I mean,
We
To
are
switch.
not currently paying for spouse coverage, correct?
No.
So you're basically just paying the same amount for the employee coverage. And so, they just have to look at the cost analysis to see if it's better for them or not better for them. But you can look at the difference in the premium, and y'all's family coverage is probably just about almost that or double. It's going to be more cost effective for them to be on Medicare, if they're Medicare eligible. If they're not Medicare eligible, that's where you got a slope that you gotta say, okay.
I mean, it's a question you probably couldn't answer, I'm just curious to, I mean, but.
Yeah, the Medicare specialist could definitely, you know,
I think we'll have quite a few sign up, and then they'll be eligible to do it again in the fall during open enrollment. And so hopefully over a period of time, we'll see people migrate to this, because this financially is going to be in their best interest.
and the younger kid, like if they have, let's say, you know, I was 65 and my spouse was 65, and we do still have a kid lingering on there because he's in college or something like that, or 26. You know, it still may be better for them to drop the whole family plan and put that son or daughter that's 26 on an individual plan, because they're fixing to drop off anyway, and individual plans for someone that's 25, 26 is low $200 a month.
Pretty inexpensive. Yeah, they'll age off at 26
Anyway.
anyway. I got one of those. I got two of those.
Will your Medicare specialist, will he have, this is so they can compare, will he have our current policy so that they can say, well, look, you're gonna have $183 a year deductible versus $1,000 a year deductible? He will
And you're
have
out,
that
in the
information.
total out of pocket, because you've got $3,000 out of pocket.
So he'll have all that information when he explains it. Just make sure that they get all the information. I don't, you know, I'm not worried about it, but I wanna make sure they understand exactly what they're getting with.
Right.
To me, it's a no-brainer, but.
It's hard for people kind of have to see it a lot of times.
Right.
And, you
That's
know,
what I'm saying.
side by side, yeah.
If you can't compare it, you don't know what you're getting.
Well, sometimes Medicare can be scary, like I said,
It's intimidating.
I've got a stepson that's on Medicare because he's disabled, but he can't get the supplements,
No.
so
No.
that's fine.
Yeah, and if you remember, back in the day, we didn't have Part D.
Yeah,
So prescription drugs was not covered. And that's why a lot of people chose to stay on the employer health plans, just to cover prescription drugs. Well, now Part D is available, so that's not an issue like it used to be.
well, with my mom and dad, they always kept a Medicare supplement. That's why I asked, does it matter what company? Because they had 3 or 4, and they would range, they could range $100 difference a month.
They're not so disparate now.
Okay,
Isn't that how you say
that's
that?
why I asked that question.
Yeah, they're a little more in
they're
line
a
with
lot
each
more in
other.
line, it's just really providers, you know, a lot of that has to do too with providers too.
Who accepts it and who doesn't?
And that's usually if it's a new Medicare patient. Some of them are not accepting new Medicare patients, but if you're an established patient already, they're just gonna transition you into your Medicare.
I think Blue Cross is probably the number one
Yeah,
supplement
Medicare,
sold
yeah.
in Arkansas.
Yeah,
I think Humana's in Memphis.
Yeah.
and then a Qual Choice also in the state. But Blue Cross Medipac is generally the most popular.
That's what mom and dad had.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, they're proven,
Yeah,
they're proven.
Well, and any doctor or any clinic or any hospital will take it. You don't ever have a problem
That's
about
right.
where you are.
any other questions?
Now, what would be, if the county decides to move forward with this, it would be the county's responsibility just to decide how much they're going to supplement per employee.
Or employee that enrolls.
And then,
And then Ms. Joanne and then we get together and we get a census of the employees that enrolled and the allocation, and then we load all that into our system and set up the automatic, and then we'll send to the county treasurer or whoever y'all have us designated to send it to. We'll send them the billing that shows how all the employees and how much we're reimbursing that month, and then we just transition those funds.
I would mention again, if the county decides to do this, I think we need to make a provision in there on those drug cards for that upfront deductible. Because if they don't, they're gonna be $400 at most of the drug cards at this price range are on the lower side of what they offer. And if we don't account for that, then they're going to be stuck for the first $400 of their drugs.
How would you manage that?
I mean, currently, they do not reimburse any out-of-pocket. If they wanted to reimburse an out-of-pocket, it would be a separate HRA that they could do, but I wouldn't suggest it because they already are out $3,000 deductible plus all their co-pays and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
I mean, they would be out that, even a whole lot more than that if
That's-
they were on the traditional.
Right.
Yeah, it's just a plain
That's all.
disclosure.
That's right.
Yeah.
If they stay on their insurance.
Do all the
Yeah,
partners
they
stay
pay
on
$490
No.
a month
Okay,
for my-
so that would be something they would choose to do.
Right.
Yeah, it would
It's
really be
an
based on-
option on which plan they elect to, so.
So what, and the one you're on, you mind if I ask, is?
Qual Choice. I was Silver Scripts, but they
Oh,
did
yeah.
away with the deductible and I went to Qual Choice.
Do you have a front-end deductible on the drug?
It's 400, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Silver Scripts went to 400 too, so they're all about the same now.
Yeah, when they go in to enroll, there's full disclosures. I mean, that he's gonna have what all their out-of-pocket is, the Medicare D is gonna show. I mean, it even, I don't know if he'll have the printer and everything, but it prints out and it gives them their analysis. I mean, they put it in, okay, I'm on, I don't even know any names of prescriptions,
I know.
but I'm on Lispro or something for high blood pressure. I'm on a diabetic medicine or whatever, and it tells them the cost of it for that plan and what their annual cost would be. I mean, you can go in, you could go in today or tonight online and go and pull Medicare Part D plans and put in your demographics and kind of get an idea of what they will be.
My son's a pharmacist and he ran it for me. They have they have little
That's
software
right.
programs
Yeah.
they put in what you take and
Yeah.
it tells you, here's your best choices.
Yes, yes.
And that's the reason I changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know they were bombarded with people coming in when they first did this Part D. The pharmacists were going, "Whoa, back
Yeah.
off here."
Yeah.
It's like everything else, they didn't have it set up in advance.
No,
And then
that's true.
It's interesting how things change. I remember earlier in my career, people dreaded Medicare,
yeah.
didn't want to get on Medicare. Now you hear people frequently say, I can't wait until I can get on Medicare. Because, people are having to work, until age 65 just so they can keep health insurance,
Back when, if I remember right, when my parents were on it, now my parents have been dead since the 90s, but they had a deductible of like $1,800 a year. And if they weren't carrying a supplement, most people couldn't afford it on the fixed income, and most people didn't take the supplement
Yeah.
because they varied so much in pricing.
Yeah.
My parents paid more than that for their supplement every month.
I
And
think
that
maybe
didn't include drugs.
Part A's deductible now is what, almost $1,200. I think it's
yeah,
$1,196 or
something
something
like
like
that.
that. So if you just had
I don't know whether
Medicare
it says on
and inpatient, if you, and it's so much every so many months, it's not just an annual anymore either. So I mean, it can really
Yeah, the
add
Part
up
A
if you don't have a
deductibles.
supplement.
At $1,340.
1340, yep.
Gosh,
And
there
Part B
are-
deductible's $183.
there are people now that, where they don't have a large social security check, where their Medicare is more important to them than their social security check. If they have a lot of sickness, a lot of medications and stuff.
Now, the one thing, and I'm sure he explains this, if they're not drawing Social Security, B comes out of their Social Security check.
Right.
So they may be deferring Social Security, and so there probably would be one that would just stay on the medical plan, unless they're wanting to not defer their Social Security.
Haven't you guys identified a distinct number of county people that are eligible for this? Wasn't it around 27?
25, 20, something right around in that vicinity, yeah.
Okay, so if I'm understanding right, and of course, I'm looking at money, finance. If we've got 25 employees and it looks like we're talking about $500 per month per employee savings that could come to the county, $12,500 a month to the county. And on a 12-month basis, we could be saving the county $150,000 if those 25 people that are eligible were to participate, $150,000 savings to the county
Potentially,
for better coverage.
Yes.
arguably.
Okay, I just want to make sure I was,
You've got somebody that will attest to that.
well, it just sounds almost too good to be true, and I just want to make sure I was understanding right.
And it may even be more beneficial than that, because if our claims ratio goes down,
Exactly.
then next year our premiums,
Yeah, we don't know.
We don't
And that's-
know.
Yeah.
but I'm gonna guess out of those 27 people, some, when we get our age, you go a little more.
You're on a little medicine probably. You do for sure.
So
A
the
few things
possibility
going
that
wrong.
our claims ratio may go down.
Which would save the county
Which
even
saves
further.
even more.
Yeah.
Well,
Down the line, yeah.
even last year, when they were talking about it, one of the people on Medicare was costing us $400,000 a year. And of our insurance.
Yeah.
So,
Had claims that high.
right, so that can make a major difference to us come the first of the year.
If it's an ongoing issue, yeah.
Do they pay 100% of single
Yeah.
coverage right now? So there's no cost difference to them, and it's less out of pocket.
Right.
Where's the pitfall? What are we missing?
The
I
only
know,
thing
it's
is,
one of those things.
I would say the only, I wouldn't call it a pitfall, but the employee is responsible for, the enrolling in the Medicare and the paying. It's a reimbursement plan. Where
Exactly.
right now, the county is paying for it, they just have the coverage. So, there is a little work for them to do as far as enrolling in the plan and signing it up. But then it will just be an automatic reimbursement for them. It'll automatically hit their accounts at the first of every month.
But haven't you guys offered to assist in that enrollment
Oh,
process?
yes,
Oh,
yes,
yes,
oh, yes,
yes.
they have, yes, absolutely.
And then it's just going to be the employee's responsibility to write the check and pay the
The
bill.
initial payment.
Since most of ours are on direct deposit, we also said it to be automatically drafted
Yeah.
on the same day.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Would prefer.
We prefer it to be automatic.
That way, they'll make the automatic deposit, it was drafted the same day, they'll
Yes.
never, basically, it'll
It's
be
a
a
wash,
wash, they
yeah.
shouldn't even see the difference.
And they don't actually have to write the check. You write the check, correct?
Yeah, so we cannot pay the carriers directly, we reimburse the employees.
You reimburse the employee.
Let me ask a question. Justice White just brought up the pitfall, and I see that happening. You reimburse me, let me use me, and I forget to pay my premium, or I think that y'all have just sent me a windfall, and I put it in the bank, or I buy whatever.
Yeah, so you have to,
2 months go by,
yeah,
and I go to the doctor. I have no insurance because it's been canceled.
Well, you'll have Part A.
Yeah.
You automatically qualify for Part A.
so
Okay.
when you.
Because that's covered in Medicare.
Right.
I just don't have hospitalization.
That is,
That is
Part A.
hospitalization. You don't have outpatient, which
You
is
don't have a
Part
You
B.
don't have outpatient.
You would have A and B automatically because those two come from your Social Security check. It's your supplemental and your D that have to be paid directly to them. And we always suggest when you enroll that you do it on an auto draft because, as retirees and stuff, you start traveling and you start doing it and everything. So we'll get the annual attestment showing that you enrolled. And so then we also check to see if you paid for it by direct deposit. If you didn't, then we would notify you monthly that we need notification of payment of that premium. And why we do that is because we're helping the county to ensure that they are still enrolled in the plan before we pay out their funds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
So
just
if
need
you're
to
not on
encourage
a,
them
if you're
on the
not,
draft.
yes, if you're not on the only way I can set up an automatic payment every month for them to be reimbursed is when I know that they've enrolled in an auto payment for Medicare because they can't make any changes to that until the next open enrollment. So those are automatic. Now, if they're on a check payment, then they're gonna be prompted in our system to send them a notification and I have to have proof that they paid it.
Way
So
simpler,
they'd be out
auto
of money.
draft and auto deposit.
That's right.
Well, who's missing, man? What's missing rather? I mean, right here, I mean, who should do a little bit more or do something else?
Who should look at the different plans?
Right.
Yeah, so it really,
I think the only catch is someone who's covering a dependent that is not age 65.
And the other one is who is not drawing a Social Security. So if you have someone that is continuing to work and has not elected to go ahead and start drawing a Social Security check, then those also are ones that will be, won't need to enroll in Medicare until they start getting Social Security.
Because your Part B
So
comes
you
out of
can
that.
defer your Social Security to age 70?
Not too many folks do that.
I was about to
Some
say,
do.
when you can draw Social Security, draw it, because it doesn't matter how much money you make. At that point, there's no
Yeah.
limit.
Yeah, if you start drawing at 62, you can only make like 19,000
Oh,
a
yeah.
year.
Yeah.
It's what I was saying, when you reach your
65.
limit,
Oh.
when you,
Yeah.
your age, when you can draw,
Full retirement.
like 66 or 66 and 2 months now is what everybody else, yeah. Then,
Most people start drawing as soon as they're eligible, but there may be some, and those are the people that won't do this. Because
Yeah.
they don't have a Social Security check to get their Part B out of.
Yeah, my plan is to work at Stevens until age 70 or later, so I will defer Social Security to age 70 at least. But I'll also will be
Did I not
on.
tell you Mr. Stevens been trying to get a hold of you?
Let me tell you something. He was born exactly 7 days after I was. So he's thinking about things like I am. Except he owns a company, so
Yeah.
he doesn't need insurance.
Is there anybody that's got any pros or cons that they would like to talk to the committee about?
Are we having another meeting tomorrow?
that's actually the
the
meeting
expert
with
will be
the
here.
expert at 10:30 in Burdette.
It's gonna be the same thing that we're doing today, is that?
No, he's gonna be discussing with the eligible
Individuals.
employees.
We're not meeting with him, he's meeting with the eligible employees.
Right.
By appointment or all together as a group?
All together as a group. 10:30 tomorrow at the building, what is that building?
10:30. Did you say 10?
Have you let any of them know, Beverly, or?
We sent out a flyer to let them know, and I'll probably call this afternoon, the departments, and remind them.
Do you know how many you sent out?
I just sent out flyers to each department that had Medicare eligible
Okay, you
employees.
didn't send it to the individuals?
No.
You said this one?
Did
No.
you send them one, Cindy?
You didn't.
No, probably didn't get you one. I'll get you one today.
Because they're cute flyers.
They are. They're nice.
Yeah, we've done a lot of this. Were you with us on the United Methodist Conference? I don't think, I forgot who we used for that. But they stopped offering their health insurance to their clergy, and so we set up health reimbursement accounts for the clergy for the exact same thing.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot.
We're talking to Arkansas Tech University, they've got some.
Does the committee wanna wait until tomorrow before we make a decision, or do y'all wanna make a decision today?
Well, I'm not gonna be at that meeting tomorrow, because I'm not eligible, so I would say we'd have to make a motion today if we wanna,
You're not 65?
no.
You've got a long way to travel, don't you?
I don't know how I would take that.
Me and him's trying to get along, that's all I'm gonna say.
It's election year.
Anybody wanna make comments?
I'm not on the committee, but I
Well,
think.
we've got
we
Justice
just about have
Clay
to.
and Justice Norvell, that's the only two we've got today.
From this side, it looks like win, win, win.
And even if one employee signs up, we're gonna save enough in premiums to pay her $100 a month and then still come out ahead.
Well, I can see it as a win situation.
But, you know, I don't say it as anything else. But- And, let me get this right, I mean, I think what we need is a motion to hire Miss, I forgot your
It's
name.
out, it's fine.
Carries out.
Consolidated admin.
I won't forget again now, but.
What is
Or
it?
offer the plan, you need a motion to offer the HRA plan, and then probably to hire us to administer it.
And you're hiring Consolidated Admin
Admin.
Services.
He is making a motion to use the
Consolidated Admin Services.
HRA plan.
Or CAS.
I need a second.
Second.
We have a second from Justice Clay. Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Okay, so it looks like we have decided to use your plan. Now, I don't know if that'll affect, if you want to send out something else, Beverly, that
The idea is to tell the
That the
employees
court-
tomorrow.
the insurance committee has
Yes.
decided to make this available,
Okay.
and so we urge them to attend.
Harry, how long do these eligible employees have to decide?
30 days
30 days from the,
notification.
from notification.
notification.
So that for some reason somebody cannot make tomorrow's meeting, they still have time to do
Can I
this.
have this?
Yes.
Will there be a secondary date to do this? Because if someone has something going on, they're out of town already or whatever, will y'all have another date that they'll come back?
Could you bring
Oh, yeah,
your
he
expert
he will
back?
be able to come back
Okay.
when
Yeah,
we need him
let's
to
see
come
how many
back.
show up tomorrow, then we can make
Make
plans
arrangements
for
to
it.
another meet, for a
Will
month.
Beverly be able to take their
He's asking
application
for
and so
me.
forth? I'm talking about after tomorrow. 30 day period.
Probably, but
Or how do
I
you,
don't know,
how
do
does
you
that work?
want to?
I don't know at this point.
But, I mean, one way or the other, he will leave them notification, or maybe envelopes or whatever that they can
Yeah.
put them in.
And that's at 10:30 tomorrow.
Yes, in Burdette, at the little
Harry Dixon Building.
Dixon, yeah.
He was asking because I actually have my annual checkup tomorrow at 9:30 in Jonesboro.
Oh.
Then if I'm gonna make the 10:30 meeting here, I need to cancel. So, I can do that.
Are you
I can
sure?
sign you up.
Huh?
I can sign you up.
I got in there for you now.
The remarks that immediately float to the top, I can't make in public, so. But I do appreciate your thoughts.
Are you 65?
No, I'm 66.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Well, didn't you and Jimmy graduate together?
Jimmy,
Brooks?
no, Jimmy's just a little bit younger than me.
Okay. Because I was thinking Jimmy wouldn't.
No, he's not 65 yet.
Is
We
there-
ran around together, but
Is
we,
there any further business that needs to come before this austere group? We are austere, did you know that?
Yes.
well, I thought you were talking about them.
Well, that's good. That-
Claire's figuring this out really quick. They're hungry.
You did a super job, Carrie,
Well, thank you.
Joanne,
Thank you.
Well, I wish you guys the best. I mean, like I
Yeah.
said, it's, like the Medicare, in my opinion, it's scary when they start sending all that stuff out. I think this is
'Cause
the
they
best way to do
bombard
it, is to have someone come in and explain it and give the opportunity. And then it starts them in that program, and then once they do decide to retire, they already know what the budget is and where to be. Because a lot of people just stay on group health plans and they retire, and then it's like, oh
They're
my
all
goodness, I
in.
didn't have this in my budget. So I think it's a great gateway to lead them to.
How much money are we gonna save by switching?
Depends on how many enroll.
Not the county, individuals.
Oh, an
Oh.
individual?
So you're not saving, I mean, technically, because the county is paying your premiums, you are
They're-
saving
They're not paying
deductibles.
ours, just what are we individuals gonna save if they don't?
$3,000 out of pocket.
Three-
Right now you have
That's
a
what he's asking
$3,000
about.
out of
Well,
pocket.
the county doesn't pay ours.
That's
No.
right. Oh, they don't pay your premiums?
No,
Okay,
so what am I gonna save?
so you're saving $839.
No, they don't pay mine.
But
So
you do,
what am-
don't you?
What am I gonna save? I pay my
That,
own.
you're paying it,
They-
but
they
you're on the
don't
health
pay
insurance.
No.
So he actually will be saving.
You're not on the county?
Are you on Medicare right now?
Yes,
Oh,
Yes,
well
it
then
was
you're
saved.
gonna get reimbursed whatever the county chooses to reimburse. And so you're saving whatever you're currently
premium.
paying right now, premiums.
Well,
So I don't know what that amount is, but I could tell you,
well, we're gonna reimburse this 144, 130, and 25.
try.
Okay.
And that 25
It's
is like an average, you know.
Yeah, it'll vary by individuals.
Probably 200, 250, just depending on where your premiums are at.
Justice Burge, you're already actively involved in the full Medicare, the supplements, the whole 9 yards. Do these numbers look real for you?
Yeah.
And will that pretty well cover what you're already doing?
Yeah, it's somewhere around $350 a month.
so.
Is that, are you on Medicare and Medicare B? And do you have a supplemental through Blue Cross? Okay, so you're probably paying about $320, $330 a month?
The state furnished, I'm in the state plan, I think it's $199 or for my wife and me.
Okay, okay. So then you would be saving that a month because the county would be paying for it.
Well, for him.
For you.
Yeah, but they
They would
would,
start paying for your, because
Because we're doing this reimbursement, you would start getting $199 a month.
if you're eligible for benefits here, even though you're not enrolled in benefits, they still can reimburse you.
When I,
Dear Joe, here I come.
when I first went on the.
Let me know when you
bill
go.
was in that condition too. At that time, the county reimbursed the employees for their Medicare. And then there was some sort of issue that came through Kelly's office 3 or 4 years ago
ACA.
where they couldn't do that
That's right.
anymore. So we had the choice of either going over on the county plan or keeping what we had
Keeping what you
on
have.
our own.
right.
And I don't know what Bill chose, but I chose to do it. But now, this is evidently something new where they can go back and reimburse because of the.
They took it away under the ACA rule.
Right.
And then Trump passed in November to bring it back. But they brought it back, but with a little more steroids. He put a little more spin on it and where actually people can do different things and not just Medicare, but yeah. But he just passed it in November, effective for January 1st plans. And so we've been pretty busy. We have a law firm that we just met with and they've done this. And a lot of their, partners and stuff are at that age and stuff, so.
Will you be at the meeting tomorrow?
I will not. I will
Don't have to be.
not.
I appreciate the 4 of y'all taking your
Yes,
time and
yes.
coming all the way just to meet with us.
It's been fun.
And I think Carrie got to spend the night in,
Yeah, so my husband, or my family has a duck camp
Oh.
in Gregory, Arkansas.
Gregory.
Oh, yeah?
And so they hunted this weekend, and so I just said, you know what, I'm gonna come to the cabin. And so I was the only woman there.
that can be fun.
They enjoyed it because I cooked
Yeah,
for
did you
them.
hunt?
I
Did you get to hunt?
Why didn't you bring some ducks?
It was free.
Yeah.
It was raining on Saturday. I was going to go Saturday because they didn't have all their boats full. Because I do enjoy it. I do. And I have my license. But it was pouring down raining. I was like, no.
I think I'll just stay
Don't
inside
hit
instead.
those ducks.
The conditions have to be perfect for me.
Yeah, sunshine.
Okay, I'm going to adjourn the meeting. You're welcome to stay as long as you need. Mike, we're glad you stayed as long as you did.